So I got a question for you guys. Do you ever feel like you want to do something, but you just seem to get pulled back into your old tendencies? Or do you feel like you want to do better at life, but for some reason you just aren't deserving of it, or you keep on self-sabotaging and going back to old habits and old ways of thinking? This is something that I've struggled with for many, many years, and I can tell you that it can not only be devastating and super debilitating to your mental and psyche, but it's something where you almost just feel like you're trapped and you just seem like you want to go in this one direction, but you just keep on getting pulled back and back. And this is something that I've dealt with, like I said, for many, many years, and it's something that is really, in many ways it sucks because you feel like you can't break out of this cycle. And for a long time, what it would feel like for me is I would be like, okay, I want to go do this, and I would align myself with that, and I would break out, and I would start going towards it, and then maybe I might be going strong for a couple of weeks, or in some cases maybe even a couple months, and then I'd get pulled back into my old way of thinking. So if this is something that you're struggling with, and most people are, then today's video is going to be extremely helpful, and stay tuned because we're going to dive into some of the reasons why you can't break through that success barrier and that so-called glass ceiling to the other side, and that it's really crazy how this stuff works. So in essence, what's going on here is on your conscious level, right? So our mind is divided into the conscious, right? All the things that we're perceiving right now, and this video that you're watching right now, the sensations that you're feeling right now, that's your conscious. That's a small percent, right? We're talking maybe a percent, right? Maybe it's a little bit more than that, but it's basically a very small amount of your mind is your conscious, things that are happening right now. Then on the other side, we have the subconscious, which is all your past memories and past emotions and past feelings and experiences in your life. And that comprises the big part, which is your subconscious. And this term subconscious, right, it gets thrown around a lot. And we all know that you hold a lot of past trauma or past, pent up emotions or kind of just crap feelings in your subconscious. But the problem is that in most of quote unquote personal development or self-help, people will just tell you to run away from it and kind of mask over it, right? The reason why they'll tell you to do this is because it is scary as hell, and takes a lot of courage to go towards that deep down subconscious, that deep down fear that you've been stifling down there. And this is something that, we can dive into deeper why it's like this. I mean, society is a big part. As we're brought up, even from the time you're a little kid, you have all these emotions and your parents are telling you, no, don't do this. Another thing that is big that I'll just talk about for guys is that as guys we're told, don't be a bitch, don't cry, that's not good, that's not manly, don't show your emotions, man up, or stop being a pussy, right? You'll hear that a lot if you're crying or whatever. So that's a big one. So from the time you're little, right, you're taught, stifle these emotions, and it's like they just get shoved deeper and deeper down, and you never actually address them. So on a surface level, yeah, you can be like, all right, consciously I want to do better in my life, whatever that is. I want to make more money, I want to have a better relationship, I want to have better friends, I want to have, a better life, whatever. Okay, right? Oh, that's on the conscious, you're thinking that, but you can align yourself, be like, oh, I'm going to work harder, right? Okay, I'm going to read more books and learn more. I'm going to get better at networking, right? Okay, all those things are great, but they're all in the conscious, right? They're all on the external. And you can just burn yourself out going after all those, but it's never going to address the subconscious and all the stuff that has been repressed and bottled up. And so what'll happen is when you chase these external things, like reading more books, more knowledge, that's a big one, right? And self-help, keep on learning, and I'm guilty of this as well. It's like, I want to read this book and the next book and the next book and keep on going, but to a certain point, you're just using that to numb yourself, and also at a certain point, you may just burn out and then you just stop reading altogether, and then you just go into apathy. Or, you self-sabotage and you do something really destructive. And this boggled me for so many years, because I would be like, I'd be doing really well. I'd be like, I want to do this. I'm doing it. I'm going really good. Everything's really good for a couple weeks, a couple months, and then boom, self-sabotage, and boom. And realistically what it is it's that subconscious coming back in and being like, you don't deserve this. You're not good enough for this, right? And a lot of those things, again, some past childhood trauma or just overall societal conditioning, and there's no one necessarily directly to blame, really, other than yourself. I mean, in many ways. I mean, maybe eventually we'll reach a society where parents are just amazing and the education system is amazing and there's freedom, complete freedom of expression, but obviously, we're nowhere near that now. So, fortunately, you guys, you have the knowledge to do it, and I like sharing this type of stuff because it's stuff that really I struggle with a lot, and I know how crazy it is. It can seem crazy. It can be like, you just seem like, okay, I want to do this. I feel like I'm an intelligent person. I feel like I'm motivated. I feel like I have the energy and the resources and whatever, and yet I just keep on self-attacking or self-sabotaging, and it can drive you insane. So realize too that this is a process, and it's something where as you become more aware, I know as corny as that sounds, like, awareness is the first step, and you have to become aware before you can do anything, and it is true, but realize that awareness, okay, but now it's going to be this process. And again, it was something that was really hard for me to realize, because you're trying to basically unwire and release years and years and years of messed up social patterns, thought patterns, regression of emotions, memories, past trauma. So of course, like, you can't undo all that in, a day or a week, not even a month, right? I mean, you can make a lot of progress in short periods of time, but to think that you're just going to undo a lifetime of this messed up, faulty, thinking, and it's just not realistic. So realize that, again, I always talk about, you want to do the small wins and start chipping away at it, and realize it's going to take time, but you keep on one foot in front of the other. And the real way to get through the self-sabotage and really become that person that you want to become is by attacking the subconscious and going into that. And people don't want to do it because it's hard. People don't want to do it because it's scary. People don't want to do it because it takes a lot of energy. And overall, mainstream society, mainstream media, corporate America, whatever you want to call it, they don't want you to do it, because if all of a sudden you were to have millions of people do this, it would shut down all the major Fortune 500 companies, right? Because a lot of this past subconscious and pent-up energy and aggression, right? It stimulates alcohol companies, right? Because that's just more numbing. It stimulates all the junk food companies, all the candy companies, all that stuff, gambling, all the basically major messed up shit, right? A lot of that is just fuel to stop all these, stop your subconscious, just numb yourself, right? Like, I don't know how to deal with it. I don't want to dive down into the stuff, so I'm just going to keep on numbing it and keep on numbing it. And, most people do that, and they just keep on numbing it. Anyway, my cell phone's about to die, so, this is an important topic, something that drove me mad for so long. And I'm sure that you guys can resonate, and, how just crippling this can be. But the lesson here today, talk more about this stuff, but the lesson here today is go into your subconscious, figure out what it is that you're holding on to, learn to release it. You can do the releases. There's many different ways, but just simply focusing on it and breathing into it, right? And then picturing exhaling it and exhaling it out. And again, you're not trying to eliminate it, you're just trying to accept it, right? You don't have to like it, you don't have to not like it, but you're just trying to accept it, right? And realize that you're living in abundance and you don't have to repress those anymore. And realize that once you do that, you're essentially, what you're doing is, it has a positive charge, right? So you can have a positive or a negative charge. Right now, that has a positive charge. So what you're trying to do by going into releasing it, realizing it, and then releasing it, is you're basically getting rid of that. Sit back down up here. You're getting rid of the positive charge, and you're just neutralizing it. And by doing that, it's not going to keep on sucking you back in. You're not going to keep having that self-attack and self-sabotage that's based on it. So that's it. I hope I kind of articulated it. I'll make many more videos regarding this, because this is a huge thing. And I can tell you, man, until you target this, you're never going to have the life that you want, because you'll keep on self-attacking. And you got to take care of this stuff first. This is like base level stuff. It's really hard. It takes time, but it's totally doable. And once you get this stuff done, then you can start building out the life that you really want to live. So I hope this is helpful, and hope you guys are all having a great Sunday. And that's it. I'll talk to you very, very soon. I'm out.